Hello. Hello. Happy Sunday, you guys. Happy Sunday. Sunday. Happy Sunday to ya. Happy Sunday to ya. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Let me see, can I find this? I haven't played it in a while. It's way far back in my thing. While people come on in, hopefully while you're on your way in, you're smashing that like button, smashing the subscribe button, and ringing the bell. I'm looking something up on another device, so I can't see. I hope somebody came to play. Let's see. Happy Sunday to ya. I need some water. Anyway, I can't find it. Thanks for coming through LRGA Curves today. Make sure you're smashing that like button, smash the subscribe button on your way in. If you haven't already, you know the routine. Ring the bell so you can get notified next time I upload videos and become part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here on the YouTube streets. We're on our way to 4K. We are on our way to 4K. Looking forward to it. Milestones pawn us. Milestones pawn us. And to negativity, we say, don't trouble we, right? Don't trouble we. No, bring it to my doorstep, nor my windowsill, right? So 2026 is going to be magnificent. Magnificent. I just made that up. Magnificent. Okay. And excellent together. Magnificent. Okay. And fabulous. Okay. Fabulistic. Supercalifragilistic. Okay, we're about to get with it. 2026. Now, I've been going back and forth. What's that called? Vacillating on whether or not I should do my vision boarding thing this year, because I was about to take a note out of LRGA Curves' page, master manifester that she is. Not only does she make the list, not only does she do the vision boards, not only does she do affirmations and speak her word and make it plain. And those of you who don't know, keep up. I'm talking about LRGA Curves from Love Island, season 7. You know the place your girl LRGA Curves has been like stuck and obsessed with since for 6 months now. It's been 6 months. That's how long they've been together. And that's how long I've been all in. I'm not even watching Housewives right now, you guys. It's a new her. Yeah, I decided to reclaim my time on the Housewives, but I will still be doing Married to Medicine because I like that show, love Dr. Heavenly. I feel like they're displaying a level of excellence as human women that is bar none. And it's the best show on Bravo, as far as I'm concerned, Married to Medicine. They are trying to bring over some Love Island-y type things, but Beyond the Villa is not Love Island, and Beyond the Villa, I believe, is moving over to Bravo because Andy Cohen loves the freaking amount of viewership and attention that the Love Islanders get. And so when he was doing the reunion, he was just like enamored with he's like, we thought we had shows. We've never had the level that this Love Island season 7 has had. And we thought we were famous, basically. So I'm sure he did whatever he could to get whatever Love Island adjacent show he could get over there. Now, I'm positive that they are I believe it is going to be Beyond the Villa. I'm going to confirm it in just a second, and I'll be able to let you know. We're just talking while people get in here. So then while we're talking about Bravo, then we're going to slide into Married to Medicine and who's the real villain over there in the Married to Medicine streets. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I just 420'd, so I'm going a little fast right now. Let's see. I think there's comments. Where's the glasses? There they are. There they are. Allie from Miami's in the house. Thanks for coming through, Allie. It's been a while, darling. I appreciate you spending some time with me here today. Happy Sunday. Yes, the biscuit on the head. Remember, Toya was throwing biscuits. I'm positive That's foreplay to him. And this look on his face is because there was no biscuit involved. Hello? Hello? Yes, the biscuit on the head, okay? We met Eugene with biscuits upon his head. And Toya was the one throwing them at him. She's always been a mean drunk. A mean drunk. She's a mean day drinker, at least in my opinion. She pretends to be nice, but she's really just seeing when she can be mean. When can she try to have something over you, control you, get somebody to turn their back on you, have somebody think a different thought about you than the good thought they was just thinking? That's what Toya does for me. And she's the real villain of the show. And for some reason, when Dr. Heavenly got on there, they switched it over to Dr. Heavenly, who does all her jobs very well. And she makes a great villain, but she's not villainy. She's not talking about people's kids since season 1. She's not doing that. Toya is, though. Toya is, has been, and was. Okay? Okay? So anyway, biscuit on the forehead. Yes. Ha, 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 ha. Mademoiselle, bonjour, mon ami. Comment allez-vous? Oh, mon ami. How are you? I hope you're most well, mademoiselle. Allie from Miami sent a floating heart. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Yes, I love a gift here and there. And then, hi. Yeah, everybody say hi to each other. So, okay, bravo. Andy Cohen. He let it be known after the reunion that he got to host with Ariana Madix for Love Island Season 7 that he was very like, whoa, these numbers are crazy. Because if you don't know, Love Island Season 7 had over 1 billion hours of views or something like that. That's crazy insane, okay? And unprecedented as far as this genre. And so yeah, needless to say, Bravo wanted in on that, and it's okay. It's okay. Hey, everybody wants a winner. Everybody wants a winner, but they did reveal the new cast for Beyond the Villa, Love Island Beyond the Villa, and Nicolandria, the breakout stars of the year, not just of Love Island Season 7, but of the year, the entire 2025. Even TMZ said it. They were like, 2025 is Nicolandria's. We're just here to watch. TMZ even said it, okay? So let's see. Looks like Allie said Dr. Heavenly is not a villain. She's messy and funny. The ladies tried to make her the villain. Exactly, Allie. We already know. We're heavenly angels. You know, we see the BS for the BS, and that's why we're heavenly's angels, because we see the angel still in her. She at least she knows how to take it. They throw barbs, they say stuff, they have their husbands speak on their behalf, they cast blame. It's like Dr. Heavenly, I don't think she's the darkest on set, but I guess some could say she's the most ziftig. Well, I don't even think she's that anymore. I feel like Toya and her are neck and neck, actually. And Buffy was bigger, you know, as far as that goes. But you know that phenomenon about looking around for the closest black person and blaming them for everything? But when you're in a black friend group, you usually do that to like the person who's darkest. And you can see just from this back picture, I guess Dr. Heavenly is a little browner, like a browner than some of the people. But it's amazing how these doctors, who I'll lovingly refer to as bitches, how these bitches do all their own stuff and then will look around the room and somehow it's Heavenly's fault, Heavenly's involved, Heavenly in her opinions that they all have and have all expressed are to blame. But it's Heavenly specifically. They all get paid on a show. The contract is to show your life, chit chat with the ladies, go on some trips. That's the contract. It's keep your hands to yourself in most situations as professional ladies with something to lose. You know, it's keep your attitude in check if you don't want to be seen as the angry black man or the aggressive black woman. You know what I mean? Like there's things in play here that as viewers we can appreciate, and I appreciate the balance that these people have to deal in. And so it's disheartening realizing and understanding and acknowledging a balance needing to be had and having it, yet them altering the balance against heavenly for them, for their benefit. And even the new girl is in on it. What's her name? Angel? Even this new girl is in on it. Like, everybody who comes on just takes their turn with Dr. Heavenly. And, you know, I know she's running for Congress, District 13. Everybody who can vote, go vote in that District 13. Toya Bush Harris cannot vote in that district. So she can talk all the yin yang she wants, even though it's detrimental. She can talk all the yin yang she wants, and she's being detrimental with intention. And she would love Dr. Heavenly to say anything about any of it being detrimental. So then they could turn around and say, oh, so what you said too was detrimental, you know? But I feel like the things that Dr. Heavenly has brought up, not only you're all paid to talk, you all talk about each other, you all do it. It's just like Candace Dillard Bassett. You just do it better. Dr. Heavenly just does it better. They always hate the one that does it better. People who need props and circumstances in order to be able to pop off. You know, there's just a natural pop off with Dr. Heavenly that people can appreciate the realness of that, the authenticity of that. Like, and people, but then these ladies try to push her off as, oh, she's pretending, implying that somehow Dr. Heavenly is the fakest one because she doesn't throw biscuits at Dr. Daddy. And because, you know, she would speak up and say, oh, we were all affected by that, you know? So, husband just walked in. Um, it's the editing alley. They are doing the same thing to Dr. Heavenly that they did to Nene. Exactly. Exactly. And it takes all of them. And it's interesting you bring up Nene because Nene was also carrying that show. Nene was carrying Real Housewives of Atlanta. People were tuning in for Nene Leakes effect. People had it. The ladies were mad she had this effect. They were hating that her natural wit and repartee was a hit among the fans and the you know, the people that see shit, you know. They hated that she was over there not having time to film because she was on Glee. She was Ryan's favorite until Andy Cohen shit all over that. It's not enough that you stop her from working with you when you're a colonizer. You have to stop her from working at the next plantation too. I see your slip, Andy Cohen. I see your motherfucking slip. And that's why I've had a problem with Andy Cohen, honestly, since then. Because it's one thing if you dirty, if you vandalize her house. But when you go to other houses where she hasn't even got to yet or has visited and start going over there and besmirching her name, that's malicious. That's detrimental, malicious, and how dare fucking you interfere in the ability for that woman to make money when she's not on your platform because you're finished using her on your platform. Fuck you. That's how I feel about that. I feel like that's a big fuck you. And then he walks around for what feels like a fucking decade acting like he didn't do shit. but admitted that you did shit. Like oh, well, she told me to keep her name out of her mouth. Of course she did. Now that you had her name in her mouth and you got her to lose jobs, bitch. And now, oh, well, she told me to keep her name out of her mouth, so that's what I'm doing. Really, bitch? Really, bitch? And bitches over there on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I know it's Sunday. I know it's Sunday. I'm just telling the truth, y'all. I'm just telling the truth as I see it. I'm not saying nothing wrong. So yeah, so they're doing Dr. Heavenly there, as in the rest of the cast, who have been relying and benefiting from the hard work and steady entertaining that Dr. Heavenly has provided. And just like they did to Nene, after the hard work and steady entertaining her and her family provided over there on that show, right? And the one time she doesn't clap her cymbals when they wind her up, they act like she's a wind-up monkey with the cymbals. And the one time her arms are too tired to freaking clap the cymbals because her husband was sick, everybody took that opportunity. Like it was freaking, what was that movie? Riddick. Was it Riddick? Yeah, it was Riddick. What was that movie with Riddick and Pitch Black? And the girl who's in Avatar, who I never want to see another movie with that bitch in it again, talking about the lady who she's playing is racist. If she wasn't so racist, fuck you, bitch. Anyway, bitch. Zoe, isn't that Zoe Saldana? So she's in that movie with Riddick, Vin Diesel, and the neckermongers come and you keep what you kill and all that stuff. And then she turns to her dude and she's like, he's weak, he's weak. You know, that's what the people did to Nene. He's weak, she's weak, she's weak. Her husband's sick, she's going through it. Her defenses are down, she's weak. And they all pounced on Nene. And production helped them do it. Yep. Production helped him do it. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening over here. I'm so glad you said that, Allie. Because I wanted to talk about how it literally feels like on Married to Medicine production, whoever that is in production who could be possibly doing this shit allegedly, speculatively speaking, as a viewer, because it's not making motherfucking sense. To be in over a decade of production with Toya Bush Harris and allow her to sit over here and Married to Medicine and pull a Ashley motherfucking Darby, no storyline, only bringing up your co-star stuff because you have nothing going on except for day drinking and tennis matches with your biscuits in your husband's head. Really? Really, bitch? So from what I understand, the way it works in reality TV is you get the contract after the reunion. And then before you start filming, your producer, whoever that is assigned to you for that season, or production, goes around and wants to know what's going to be your storyline this season. What's going to be your storyline this season? What's happening in your guys' life? What are we going to see? What are we going to, what are we going to build on? What are we doing? What are we doing? Where are we going? What are we seeing? How's it going? Where's it hanging? Low and to the left? Okay. Long and to the right? Okay. We got you. Let's see. And that's the opportunity for when you're traditionally on reality TV. The reality of life in most cases, unless you're a content creator who's like sitting here shooting the shit about what you watched as entertainment, you're not typically spending your day in real life IRL, sitting around plotting on your husband's colleagues. You're not sitting around yapping about half the things these ladies are yapping about for their storyline, for their life. She has a brand new house. Her husband's gone 11 days out of a week. She has teenage sons. She day drinks. She likes to shop. She has a tree in her closet. And we're on episode 4, and the only thing this bitch has talked about when she's not throwing verbal biscuits at her husband's head is Dr. Heavenly. It's just bizarre to me. It's bizarre that that was like when production sat down and she was like, yeah, I'm just going to go in on Heavenly. I'm going to talk about how I'm lonely because Dr. Eugene isn't here. And then I'm going to go in on Heavenly. And production was like, yeah, sounds great to me. What side is your good side? Well, are we Mariah carrying and your left side only, Toya, while you do this fake ass storyline that's not real in any capacity? Because I'm a mom, and most, when I'm not on here, like, I like talking about stuff that, like, interests me and my kids. I'm talking about what my kids are doing, the drumming, the gaming, like, what the art we did, the songs you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm usually talking about my family. I'm not sitting there for a storyline talking about with a dossier of information collected upon my coworkers. It's weird. In corporate America, sure, you keep a freaking written documentation of when bitches are being racist and discriminatory. Not that it matters now with the 200 words that just got eliminated from the English vocabulary because you guys let 45 be 47, but that's a whole other show. Back to biscuits. So yeah, in real life, we're not sitting around doing that. We're just not. So I feel like production allowed Dr. Heavenly, and she'll even say this, she uses the word allowed, Dr. Heavenly to be running for public office and simultaneously be on the show, which is unprecedented also, hasn't been done before, we don't believe. We have not had any congresswomen running for Congress, never before, on any of these housewife franchises. It's almost 2 decades in, and never have we had any person like this then run for Congress. Put it in the chat if I'm wrong. I'll gladly say what the occasion was. And for this to be a Black woman stepping up in her district where things have affected her personally and her storyline personally. Now, this stuff hasn't been on the show because it didn't make it to the show because it happened off camera, which usually a common thread also in the Bravo sphere, reality spheres, if it happened off camera, we're not even supposed to be talking about that shit on camera technically. I mean, unless you brought it up. And there's usually a problem when somebody brings it up out of turn. You understand what I'm saying? So production let Toya have Dr. Heavenly tearing down Dr. Heavenly for a storyline over nothing. It's episode 4 and it's over nothing. Episode 1, Toya went in on Dr. Heavenly's sons. Kids are supposed to be off limit. I don't care how many years they pay taxes. My kids need to stay out of your mouth. Why are we talking about kids? Even over there in Real Housewives of Potomac, I hear Ashley was freaking on Sharice's son. That's disgusting. What is she? What does she get him naked, wasted, and jumped on him or something? What is this, Tamra Judge? That is so Jerry Springer. That's tacky Jerry Springer. There's a billion people in the world she could have chosen from. And in the Potomac, there's quite a few of youngsters she could have went and felt chemistry getting her keys from. She couldn't even control herself enough to not jump on that woman's minor son. Because I'm saying minor because that's when she met him. So because to me, that means you wanted to do him when he was a minor too. You've been looking at my son with those googly eyes every time you came to his birthday parties? You're all gazing around the clown, leering at my son, and I didn't even notice. That's disgusting. That's nasty. Anyway, for production to allow this to be a first and simultaneously allow her coworkers to use every opportunity to tear her down and reframe what really happened in a way that makes her more villainy or recalls some villainy that has long since, we put that dead horse away. That dead horse, we finally got Simone to bury a dead horse, your mama dead horse. We were over that. The whole YouTube thing hasn't even been talked about for like 2 seasons now. 3. Okay? So for them to do this like montage of dead horses long buried about Dr. Heavenly and her behavior as a way to co-sign on the real villain of the group, Toya's reframing of history so that Dr. Heavenly can be her problem in her brand new house is crazy to me. So it's like they give a little, but they take it right back. So you're going to let her have the platform to reach way more people. And hey, you can't pay for that kind of advertising. I'm on your screen every freaking Sunday through the election cycle is PR like nobody can pay for. I mean, everybody should still go to her website, drheavenlyforcongress.com, I believe. And I'll put it in the description afterwards. And contribute $13 because there are thresholds. When they say you got to pay to play, that's true. You got to pay to play. So in order for them to leave your name on at certain stages, you have to reach certain thresholds of money, I believe. And so she has to reach a threshold here coming soon. So I know she was on her Instagram earlier and she said if those who can and will go to drheavenlyforcongress.com and donate $13 for her run for District 13 for Congress. She's going up against the incumbent, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, so it's interesting that they would allow that whole montage. Like, I would feel like in that position, but I'm a good-hearted person. So in that position as a producer, I wouldn't have really allowed Toya to not have her own storyline going on. As a producer, I would feel like a complete fucking failure if the so-called number one person was my person and I only let them have another person's name in their mouth for 4 episodes because it's giving high-key desperate and you have nothing going on. And you're trying to make fetch happen, Toya. You really want all these ladies sitting around you drunk crying after you blew up on your husband and embarrassed your entire ass cheeks were out, darling. We saw your ass cheeks. Your ass was literally out. You literally showed your ass while you showed your ass to your husband in front of company, emasculated him, told the ladies you invited to your new home, fuck them bitches. You started with the negativity. When Mimi sat down, she had on all white. Of course she's going to sit on a napkin. What lady in all white doesn't sit on napkins? Although the napkin was orange, Mimi, and who was to say that that orange wasn't going to transfer onto your white? And who's to say that she needed to move anything? Maybe she thought, maybe her ass is bony, and that little bit of cushion was the perfect thing because she knows her ass is so bony and she didn't feel like feeling the cold cement on her bony ass right there. How do you know that didn't happen, Toya? But no, as soon as Mimi comes into her house, she starts with Mimi and then she immediately attacks Dr. Heavenly, who's not even to her house yet. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. You see how Dr. Heavenly's her storyline? Everybody's coming to your house for the first time, bitch. How are you sitting here talking about, this ain't Dr. Heavenly's house? Because you still thinking about that shit. You still thinking about 47 acres, tennis courts, swimming pools. You still thinking about it. You still thinking about 7,000 feet? You still thinking about the first lady who had a 2-story closet? You still thinking about it? You still thinking about it, Toya? You still thinking about how she don't even have to pay on that shit anymore? That's what's really vexing you. Is that her house is paid off and you guys just got this bill that's making your dude have to work 11 days a week away from you. Way out of biscuit range. He stays way out of biscuit range. I used to think this was Eugene's foreplay, but now I'm starting to think that the range, because he's out of biscuit range right now. So I don't know if that means he's like evolving or something like that. I don't really know, but maybe he's changing. Maybe he doesn't really want biscuits for foreplay anymore, you know? And then I'm like, the tequila is just making Toya so tequila. We used to call over on Vanderpump Rules, which I'm hearing the remake is not that great. Some people are saying they can't hold their attention. Other people are like, oh, this is magnificent. I myself am not watching because I'm like, you did a whole remake and still couldn't find any black people to be a waiter at your restaurant in Los Angeles? Really, bitches? No people of color, really still? Didn't we just have like 16 seasons of freaking mayonnaise? And you couldn't even consider in the remake to have some pepper with some mayonnaise? I just don't know. I just don't know. It's offensive. It's offensive at this point to be left out of production and shows because we're everywhere. It's known that black people and people of color are everywhere at this point. Everywhere. So if there's a reality show about serving food in Los Angeles and there's no black people in that restaurant, that's an intention and a choice. And somebody might want to do a discrimination suit against that place because I'm sure there's some black applicants that have been through that piece and never got a call back or got a bullshit call back about they went another direction. Yeah, the direction was the palm of my hand. That's a fucking offensive, Lisa Vanderpump. Why you rehire Stacy Stassi Schroeder and her new chin. Very offended. So you're gonna intentionally leave people like me out? I'm gonna intentionally not give you my view and talk about your ass when I get a chance. How about that? That sounds even. Sounds very even to me. Okay? Back to Tequila Toya. So on Vanderpump Rules, there was Tequila Katie. Now, Katie used to go out with Tom Schwartz. And when Katie would drink tequila, which was her drink of choice, people would, in the friend group, would be like, oh no, here comes Tequila Kate. Here comes Tequila Kate. And it was this mean, she would get so mean, evil, very high-key aggressive white lady. If she wasn't oh, can you hold my hair drunk? She was oh, let's go fight. We're fighting. You're getting cussed out, and then we're fighting. That was Tequila Kate. So we got Tequila Toya over here, who to me, her day drinking is getting worse because her attitude is getting worse because she just doesn't feel happy. And you would think that the lady who has a baby shower for her Birkin and a doggy funeral, so she likes to show off. You'd think that those things all make her happy, but she seems like rather empty, and the day drinking isn't doing it. The tennis isn't doing it. Without Eugene in biscuit range, she's just not happy, But this obsession that she has for a Dr. Heavenly is crazy. And anybody who wants to argue with me about it, I would drop the link, but I can't on this. I might end it and come back another way because I would love to hear your theory on why I'm wrong for thinking that Toya is high-key obsessed with Dr. Heavenly to mention her son, come at her about running for office, try to pop her off about an alleged fake Balenciaga in a group chat with the other women. And then ultimately, this is episode by episode. This is one thing she's had wrong with Dr. Heavenly every episode so far. So now we're to episode 4, where she's making Dr. Heavenly the problem after she cussed out her husband in the new house that's supposed to make him happy. Supposed to be in the south of France, all positivity, feel rich, full of money. She said it. She said how it was supposed to be. But she's obsessed with Dr. Heavenly. How out of all that was Dr. Heavenly to blame? And Mimi too? Really, your only two real friends who were like, bitch, you need to shut up. This is not the right place. Like there was other people at the party besides her co-workers for the show, you guys. If you didn't notice, all around the pool in the back over there were tables full of people that we've never seen before. So this wasn't just a party for, the people that are on Married to Medicine. This was a party for Toya's friends to show off her new house. And the ladies from Married to Medicine were there also. You see what I'm saying? And she showed her ass with her ass out to all those people. And then in front of those people, blame Dr. Heavenly? She needs to stop being mad at Mimi and booking a motherfucking appointment at this rate, because she needs a psychiatrist. She needs a psychiatrist or a psychologist. She needs to talk to somebody, but yeah, she needs the person that you just talked to. She don't need no meds because she won't stop drinking, allegedly. I don't think. I don't think she's the kind of person that's going to put down her tequila anytime. That's her like superpower. Kind of like how Rick James like cocaine. But drugs are bad. So yeah, I don't believe that she'll be putting down the alcohol at any time soon. So she just needs to go to the person that you can talk to, not who can prescribe medication. And I believe that's a psychologist. And I think Mimi is a psychiatrist, but she would know better than to give Toya any meds. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. I'm just speculating what could happen. And yeah, Toya sat around and cussed him out and then made Dr. Heavenly the problem and kicked Dr. Heavenly out and kicked Mimi out. And then Contessa and what's that lady's name with her neck? Anila and Contessa sitting under the cherry tree with Toya. That looks so planned to me. I was like, so did she plan on cussing Eugene out so she could come up to the cherry tree and have a cry and blame something on Dr. Heavenly? Or was it just convenient that Dr. Eugene was writing prescriptions trying to be a funny man? I don't know. Because that whole scene right there, she was like, that felt like she called Anila and was like, ooh, girl, I'm going to have the cameras here, but since I'm inviting everybody, including my friends, it'll be okay if you're here. And then you can just be around me and you'll be on camera some more because, I'm really trying to get you back on the show and da-da-da-da. And so, I'm going to show the girls the closet. And then whenever I go to the closet by myself, then you follow me. You and Contessa follow me because all three of them were hanging out plotting to get back on the show against Dr. Heavenly, trying to get Contessa back on the show too, remember? So they're still plotting on Dr. Heavenly. And Contessa's just biding her time, back of the bus style, but her alliances and her, who she aligns herself with, it's clear to me that she's on the sneak tip, not so much sneak because, I'm seeing it coming a mile away. But Toya, Simone, Contessa, Brittany, Who's the new girl who Quad needs to keep that lady away from King? What's her name? Doctor, or the nurse Angel. She's even jumping on the boat. Bitch, you just got here. In the preview, she's going to be like, well, I just don't think you know when you offend people. Bitch, you just got here. Go put on some booty shorts around Quad's man. How about that? I don't care if Quad did say you can be in your bikini around her man. Go put on some booty shorts around Quad's man. How about that? How about that? And I didn't like the way you lingered by the door that one time. How about that? I said it. I said it. You're part of the friend group. You speaking up to Dr. Heavenly. You obviously think you in like that. So why are you holding back until when King walks in further? Mind yourself, girl. Mind yourself. Quad, not all the friends are your friends. Not all the friends are your friends. He ain't put a ring on it yet. Once he puts a ring on it, then perhaps. But at this point, even King is rubbing me the wrong way a little bit with how he be side-eyeing my girl, talking about your baby. And then it's more problems. Okay, we paying attention, King. We paying attention. You was real cute last season. And now this season, you coming back a little, I don't know, dare I say Peter Thomas? Are you coming back a little Peter Thomas? I don't know. I don't know. And there's nothing wrong with Peter. He's just like wants more camera time than he's due. You see what I'm saying? Start moving funny, acting, getting too big for your britches, what my grandma used to say. Don't get too big for your britches, Leah. No way. Manny Vasquez is in the house. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Right on. Long time no see here. Question, why do you think Toya can get away with everything and anything all of these years later and no one says anything to her but Dr. Heavenly? Thank you, mademoiselle. We are watching the same show. That's a great question. And that's what I was just wondering is how does production allow this to happen? Is she's Ashley Darby of damn Married to Medicine. Nothing going on. Boring AF. Husband semi-problematic. No, Dr. Eugene is fine. Except for that he too now is attempting to align with his wife and make Dr. Heavenly the problem. No, bitch. Your wife, your day drinking wife is the problem. Patron is the problem. It's crazy. Jesus loves you. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him behold, they are weak, but he is bold. Yes. Let's see. Toya uses Dr. Heavenly as a scapegoat. Dr. Heavenly is not even full-time, right? But they are still making her the main character. It's Heavenly's show now. Right, mademoiselle? Well, I've been saying Dr. Heavenly been carrying the show on her back every year for our annual interview. We already had one this year in November. She came on November 19th and preseason, and we talked about her congressional run, and I'm expecting her back postseason or within the season, and we'll talk about the show some more. But yeah, like she's like, I'm not even full time. I'm like, how are you not? You've been in all 3 or 4 episodes so far, darling. Are they gonna take it away later? I'm not sure. I don't know. But this is the most part-timeness I've ever seen of a person. But she is very much getting that Garcelle treatment, huh? Like, I'm not even halfway on the show and you got my name all in your mouth. Right? Where were we? Toya, the real villain of the show. And her little friend Simone. I didn't put Simone's picture up here so much. Because, yeah. Anyway, but Simone and Toya. I have a theory, you guys. So, season 1. Who brought up children? The paternity of children on season 1. On a television show that can be rewound for said child, but it was not brought up by the people who, so it was kind of like when Buffy was really upset that Dr. Jackie mentioned her infertility because that was her story to tell. Well, Toya mentioned the paternity of Mariah Huck, the creator of Married to Medicine. She mentioned the paternity of Mariah Huck's daughter, minor child at the time, like 8 years old, some shit like that, like minor child. And she brought that up on the show when it was Mariah's story to tell. And that's how they ended up in the swim pool. The first and only altercation, fist to cuffs altercation. Now, Dr. Heavenly's been chased around some things, but the only punches landed, bitches end up in pools, was because Toya brought up the paternity of a minor child, season 1, you guys. So to me, that establishes her as the villain, right? Then we get to season 2, and Dr. Heavenly comes on the scene. And Simone and Toya divert villainy to Dr. Heavenly because she said your mama to Mariah Huck's mother, who implied that Dr. Daddy wanted to get at her. Remember that? So everything Dr. Heavenly does is in reaction to. She doesn't start the fight, but she finishes it. Whereas the Toyas and the Ashleys start the fights and then hide their hands and pretend, oh my God, how we get here? What happened? Oh my God. They pull out their most 613 wig they can find, the blondest wig in the batch, and just get dingy blonde for a minute, okay? They act so dingy that they could be at the M&M factory and they throw out all the W's. That's how dingy these bitches are when it comes to this. They put the villainy on Dr. Heavenly, and they did it with the help of others. Now, Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie are friends today, but Dr. Jackie spent about 3-4 seasons calling Dr. Heavenly fat, talking about her bad. Said that she wasn't a doctor, all kind of stuff. Remember? I mean, she's literally Dr. Heavenly. But these other bitches was like, oh, you're not a real doctor. Well, hey, we all saving lives, because if you have plaque buildup in your mouth, you have plaque buildup in your arteries, it can lead to plaque buildup in your heart, and then you have a heart problem. So everybody on there is saving lives. Ask me, truth be told. They all got the same doctor bill, hospital, freaking education bill. Okay? So I used to not really care for Dr. Jackie a lot. Now, when she started being nice to Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Heavenly let it be known that, you know, she has a whole personality and, you know, she's really cool and all that other stuff. And then when she was going live with Dr. Heavenly on the YouTube channel, I appreciated those times. Like, it added a facet to Dr. Jackie that, you know, it was like a new layer over her Miss Priss. And the layer was funny. You know, so, and relatable. So, I didn't really mind it. People got their panties in a bunch and tried to make it out that she said something wrong. But, yeah. Right on, Mademoiselle. Thank you very much. Love. So, right, Toya was spreading Mariah's business, and she never paid the price for that. Has never had to take accountability for it, never answered for it. Talk about a dead horse to dust off. Let's dust that one off. Somebody get the paddles and let's revive that motherfucking horse, because that needs to be studied. How did you get away with bringing up the paternity of a minor child and take zero accountability, But in 2025, you want Dr. Heavenly to take accountability for a far less infraction. Somebody get the motherfucking paddles. We need the horse revived. Gallop through, gallop through. Okay? I can't even. Everybody ended up on Toya's side. That's why I'm like, who did Toya screw? Besides Eugene, allegedly. This is just talk, you guys. I know she didn't screw nobody. But given that energy, like, what did she do behind the scenes to get this level of protection is what we're witnessing here. She has entitlements, and she does certain things that other people can't and haven't done. But she gets the power to call it out like they've done worse than she's done when that's never happened. Just a second, let me, hope nobody calls. Can you guys still hear me? Darn it, let me see. I had to put that on. Do not disturb. I was trying because sometimes his phone rings and then we have that volume issue. Let me see if we can hear me. Let me see if we can hear me. Let me see, let me see. Okay, yeah, we can hear me. Okay, good. Okay, so it is very weird. And it also feels like production, even though Mariah Huck created this show, she shopped it around, she came up with the concept, she got the show to air as a creator and participant, and Toya gets even more say than her. Toya brought up the paternity of the creator of the and executive producer of the show's family. So that means she bit the hand that fed him, technically, in my eyes. She bit the hand that fed him. Because how do you do that to your boss? Like, oh, by the way, what's that sound? How do you do that to your boss and get away with it? Talk about insubordination, right? And then you slap your boss. You mollywop your boss and hit her in the head with your purse because she's mad that you brought up the paternity of her minor child, and over a decade later have not had to deal with that, but Dr. Heavenly's the problem and needs to be held accountable. After Quad is the problem and needs to be held accountable. After Dr. Jackie's a problem and needs to be held accountable. Everybody's a problem but Toya and Simone and Contessa. Even Brandy. Brandy was over there audibly laughing out loud when Toya was emasculating Eugene and he had this look on his face. And she said, eye contact, like he was autistic. Like she was yelling at one of her autistic sons. Eye contact. What? What, bitch? Ooh, that must be some good tang. That must be some good tang. I hear the mean ones got some good tang. I'm not mean. I got some good tang because I'm good. I don't have no mean tang though. I don't have mean tang. But I hear mean tang is supposed to be some good mean tang, y'all. Because he is like, I've been married to this for 18 years. I'm not going nowhere. But Mimi, I mean, not Mimi, this one down in the corner right here, what's her name? Brandy, the thyroid lady. Brandy audibly laughed, cackled. I almost thought it was Dr. Heavenly, except for it wasn't a high pitch enough. And they panned over and it was that one, Brandy, laughing at the exchange between the showing of Toya's ass and Eugene sucking it up. And you see Dr. Heavenly up there with her hand on her chin, like, how can I say this the right way? That was after she had to like have her hand over her lip. Like she was trying not to say anything, you guys. She was trying not to say anything. If you noticed, I've been seeing a lot of banter, a lot of discourse about how this is the quietest people have ever seen Dr. Heavenly. Was in like episode 2 when everybody was getting into it. And she was just kind of sitting there till she wasn't. And then she kind of did that in episode 3 too. And in this episode, I feel like she did that very tactfully. She had a lot of tact in class when she turned from Mimi to Toya towards the people that could hear everything else that was happening and said, now come on, Toya, that's not right. Don't talk to him like that. And Toya asked for advice. Toya said, well, how would you get him to do something then? And she said, well, say daddy. And even Eugene was like, yeah, say it nice. But you want to do that. And then Toya's like, I'm done with you. But you guys notice what she kept is what's in front of her right here. Her Patron. She's done with Eugene. She's done with Mimi. She's done with Heavenly. She wasn't done with that Patron though, y'all. She did not. She was like one of them drunks who you like watch and the cigarette never catches nothing. They stay awake long enough for that and never spill a drop of their beer. Toya had that cup. She did never put the Patron down. Everybody was a problem. Except for Patron. Except for, no, I don't think actually, does she even drink Patron? That's the only tequila I know. I don't really drink, but I know about the tequila Patron. Is that the expensive one that she likes? Because I think she only drinks certain ones, and I'd hate to get it wrong because, you know, she hates when people get it wrong. Wow, it completely slipped my mind. Toya did that to her boss, yep, and somehow walks around the show till this day as if she owned it. Isn't that puzzling? That's why I think production might have even put her up to it. Did production tell her about the paternity and say, oh, this is what we do on reality TV? Bring this up now? And then go bop your boss in the head? You guys are wives. You guys can fight. The doctors have too much to lose. They're not fighting. Unless you're Dr. G, which I said stood for girl last season because it's some bitch shit to abuse women, which Quad said she was abused. And it's some bitch shit to tell your new wife, don't make me, after you talk crazy to her in front of the camera, then you rush upstairs. And it sounded like a threat to me. I'm from Oakland. I was taking that shit as a threat. I was like, do we need to what? What? Don't make you what? No, let's see. Let's see what? That's what I would have been in there like, sweet tea. Let's see what? Don't make you what? Because I don't want to be confused. What got me this case? Don't what? Last season, it was hard to watch, you guys. With Dr. G and Sweet Tea. And that whole thing that happened with, sorry, you guys, I don't know, my throat. And that whole thing that happened with King and Quad and Dr. G lost his mind allegedly, and I don't know, and he was like chasing people and cussing ladies out. It was crazy. And then taking it all out on his new wife, Sweet Tea. It was hard to watch. So last season I was saying, you know, that if Sweet Tea needed help, she should blink twice, because no lady should be getting treated like that her first year of marriage, you know, not ever really, but especially your first year of marriage. And they ultimately decided not to come back to the show this season, right? Obviously. But the way that Toya was acting towards Eugene, I was like, is Dr. Eugene Sweet Tea? And Toya is Dr. G? And even Dr. Jackie was like, you know, if this is how it happens in front of people, what happens when people aren't around? And that's exactly what we were saying last season, you guys. That's exactly what we were saying last season when Dr. G went off on Sweet Tea in front of everybody, and she was walking around the hotel resort all by herself, remember? And she couldn't, she was walking around the hotel looking for Dr. G because he left the room after he yelled at her in the elevator. Remember, you guys? Yep. So just a second. Oakland used to have the best tap water ever. Out here, their tap water is just okay. So, because I was saying that stuff last season about Sweet Tea. Now, abuse is abuse, you guys. And whether it's Dr. G doing it or Toya doing it, it's a little triggering watching what happened. And I'm with Dr. Heavenly when she was like, that was uncomfortable to watch. Like, what the fuck are we doing? That was very uncomfortable to watch. Hey, John. No, I didn't move. We're still in California. Yeah. Not yet. Yep. No, I moved from Oakland, though. And the place that I am, the water, I don't like the water out here. But I drink it. Not a lot of it, but I get tired of particulate matter too, you know? Particulate matter from the freaking particulate matter from bottled water. And then I start thinking about my carbon footprint and all the waste of plastic and the freaking garbage island that's floating around the ocean. We're putting too many things on my mind, y'all. Let's go in here. Hey, son. What's good? How you feeling? Good. Give me some. You taking him for a walk? Yes. Awesome. Oh, you hear that, Milo? He's sorry he didn't take you. We were chilling. So, yeah, I'm off mute. Yeah, so Toya did that to her boss. I feel like Simone is in on it. I feel like if that was abusive, what we watched Dr. G do, men get abused too. And we have witnessed Eugene be physically assaulted with biscuits. Okay? It's literally be physically assaulted with biscuits, be verbally annihilated, be emasculated. At least, we're in season 12. She's been on all 12 seasons. Okay, baby, safe. You got your phone? Yeah. She's been on 12 seasons. I give him maybe one season where she didn't do some sideways shit to Eugene. Maybe one. Somebody put it in the chat if I'm wrong. And then tell me which seasons they were. And I'm saying maybe one because it feels like every season she does something sideways to Eugene. Yeah. And then gets back to talking shit about the other ladies, whether it's Quad or Dr. Heavenly specifically. So she beat up her boss, brought up her boss's paternity at work on a global stage that can be rewound to this day. That little girl can look at it to this day. And then proceeded to, with her and Simone, would have talks about Mariah's attitude on film. And that's where the whole legend came from that they got Mariah kicked off her own show, is because we literally witnessed the ladies have issues with Mariah that ended up being the issues that she got let go from her show because of. When she discusses his bits, yep, and self-soothing habits, she did everything possible. Hello. She was like, I didn't know it wasn't going to get bigger. I would have never said that out loud. And not that it's my case, because we have nothing but forearms over here, okay? But even though King would never, my King would never have gotten on TV and told me my walls was thin or worn out or whatever King said in the thing the other day. I was like, look, bruv, you can't be saying stuff like that, bruv. Somebody go get King, damn it. He was cute last season, shirt off, getting at Dr. G, not tolerating no shit against his woman. And now you doing a little couple shits towards your woman, bruv. You gotta, somebody go get him. Yeah, but Toya did that. Toya, they did the flashback when Mimi was trying to tell her husband up here. I love Mimi's husband and Mimi. I'm really digging them as an addition to Married to Medicine, by the way. I feel like they bring a fresh newness, young hipness, but not too young, like they're between. And I like their autism story with their kids. I love that Steve was willing to cry in front of us because, you know, I already know that affects him, you know. And to have him share that vulnerability with us lets us know that he's vulnerable with his wife too. And he not gonna be talking to Mimi crazy no time soon. Is she not checking no biscuits at Louis Vuitton? I mean, Steve's head. I don't know if we can get him a deal with Louis Vuitton at this point, but I don't know that he has any other clothes except for Louis Vuitton, everything from head to toe. He's practically Dorit, the way he wears his brand on brand with Louis Vuitton. Okay, because you know, Dorito put Chanel on Chanel on Chanel on Chanel. And yeah, it's Chanel everything, Prada everything. She like does all of everything from head to toe, you know. Dapper Dan. Okay, he's not Dorit. Let's give him something better. He's Dapper Dan in with it, right? Because Dapper Dan was Logo's head to toe hip hop, right? I missed the last couple of episodes. Dang. King, thin walls. Yeah, something he said. So, you know, Quad is going through her IVF journey with King, putting the horse before the carriage. Because you're not married yet. And I understand that. However, like, I kind of wish they were at least engaged in doing this. Because the things he's saying are things that make me feel, ugh, give me the ick. I mean, I was impressed with his knowledge of the female anatomy, but for him to know all that and then make a joke about thin walls or something like that. He said, you guys put in the chat, what the hell did he say? When she was laid back and he was like, yeah, but if you got, it was something. Anyway, he said something wrong. It was wrong. Or maybe I took it wrong, but I feel like he said it wrong. And then she was like, oh yeah, we're getting a baby. He said, more babies, more problems. So I'm like, see, that's what happens. You got to have that ring first. Well, not that ring stop anything, but at least A ring is semi a commitment. I mean, if you can't even get a ring, then as a commitment, then a kid is a bigger commitment than a ring. Look, so if you on the hook, he on the hook. Shit. And you keep all your little fine friends around him for this little eye candy thing. Mm-hmm. No, bitch. You can keep your thong on at your house. Don't come over to my house with your thong on. And then Toya, that is kind of rude. You invite all of these couples over and then you put eye candy in front of them. And then Dr. Heavenly's like, look, these bitches just want they man to cheat. And then when she goes to complain about Eugene, now I'm back to Toya, you guys. When Toya went to complain about Eugene, when she stormed off the first time after telling him, I'm done with you, I'm through with you. And she walked in the house. And then Anila went after her and Contessa went after her. And she said, all he wants to do is sleep and eat and look at ass. Walk by. And I was thinking, you are such the setup queen. You put this ass in front of him. You told everybody to wear their swimsuits and then got servers in tiny white bikinis. And now you're like, all he wants to do is sit around and look at ass. Look, I'm telling you, she needs to book an appointment with Mimi Toot Sweet yesterday, bitch. Yesterday, okay? That's the tequila. That's what tequila does, though, you guys. That's what tequila does. It'll have you order a stripper and cuss your husband out for looking at the stripper that you ordered his ass all in the same party. That's tequila Toya. Tequila Toya. These dream guys that second season, Dolores dudes suck second season, True Colors. Yup. And then how she'll bring people on, like she brought Anila on and turned on Anila, and she likes to bring people on and just have them be around her. So I was really put off this last episode also after making Heavenly and Mimi seem like issues for saying what was literally on all your guests' mind. Like, can we not have to watch this? Being the problem. She could work for the current administration. I mean, she might be pushing for a black conservative job because she's sounding very backwards, you guys. She's sounding very backwards. No, black conservatives are great, you guys. I'm just kidding. But it's just the duplicity therein, right? Like, yeah, you want everybody else to pay your taxes. Anyway, so, and then Contessa and Anila going up to the closet, like I was saying before, it felt very plotted. She was like, okay, if I walk away and I go to my closet, then you guys come. And that way, Anila, you can have some screen time, even if you're just sitting there. Did you guys notice that Anila's neck looks a lot like the new girl's Brandy's neck? But Jackie never said nothing to Anila about her neck. Maybe she didn't like Anila. But Anila's neck looks a little thick in the front right there. Right on, love the tea. I'm just yapping, saying random thoughts. These are intrusive thoughts, actually. And I'm sorry for most of them, but not really. I pull Dr. Heavenly's all the time. I'm going to say it and take it right back. Darling, I promise. Because the people. Now, when Steve was around that corner listening to Eugene get cussed out some more, and he put his glasses down like that to make sure his eyeballs were not seeing some type of witchcraft or what's it called, a ventriloquist? Yeah, making sure that there was not a ventriloquist in the room. You know, when somebody sticks their hand up your ass and they do the talking, but your mouth is moving. He like had to put his shades down. He's like, does she this? What? Fuck them bitches? He's like, and my wife and me came decked out, and that means my wife is one of them bitches? And Curtis was sitting over there, shaking his long head back and forth. No. He looked like one of the people in the, remember the Muppets? And the two old guys that used to sit up in the box on the Muppets and talk shit to all the other Muppets doing all the work. And one of them kind of looked the little birdie. That's what Curtis looked like to me. He looked like a chocolate bird sitting up there shaking his head. Oh, no. Oh, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? None, said Curtis. Then he leans over to King. He leans over to King of all people. Curtis, now why you gotta go start shit, Curtis? Oh, this is what you looking at. This is gonna be you. This is gonna be you. It's already me. This is gonna be you. It's already Eugene. This is gonna be you. It's already Damon. It's gonna be you. This is what you have to look forward to. King said, not me. Got King thinking some more. He already doing some thinking about how babies are problems, about how she's a bitch because she apologizes with attitude. He said that in front of people, you guys. Nobody asked him to say that shit. He chimed in. So now he putting quad shit on Front Street. And that was pretty much saying that he could see what Eugene was talking about last year. That's almost practically what King did by doing that in that setting. Oh, I can see why I can see why Eugene, Dr. G was last year blowing you up. And he blew her right up too. I was like, I left a nasty message on Simone's Instagram. How could she and her son support a white supremacist like Elon Musk by buying a Tesla? I'm so done with these thoughtless people, right? Right? She still went and bought that boy a Tesla. She gonna leave Cecil's ass though, because it is different. Like, it's different for your kids than your husband. Cecil just sitting up there grinning. He got perma-grin. That man has perm-a-grin. He's stays wet, okay? He stays wet. And he just has perma-grin, cheesing all day. Just cheesing. Right? Get your island king, boy. Yeah. Look, he's going to have to do something. I did not like a couple of little things happening. Like his energy is just feeling a little off. I don't know if it's because the fan base and co-workers were the Phaedras and the Sweet Teas allegedly, and the Toyas and the Ettels were trying to make his business illegitimate and make him some part of, like when that Rolls Royce thing got stolen and the person that leased it to him and blah, 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 blah. And then the season ended last year, remember, with Sweet and Sour in particular, doing a couple of lives mentioning that. And so I could see that leaving a bad taste in his mouth, but for him to then show up to her job and be like, oh yeah, you shouldn't apologize with attitude while she's at her job on the clock. He literally is only supposed to sit there and look cute and chase fools down the beach with no shirt on. That's what you're there for, King. I don't know why you're talking right now around the fire pit at the party right after Eugenia got emasculated for entertainment purposes, but you got me twisted, bruv. You got me twisted. You want a biscuit with that 2-piece? I thought it came with a biscuit. Exactly. So he obviously is going to get to the end of the season. He obviously about to get to the end of the season because they haven't announced that they're not together or nothing. And she does need the storyline of, actually going through his fertility treatments that we care about because we're invested in Quad. We've known her for over a decade. We were trying to get invested in Sweet Tea's journey, but that was going to be forced. That was going to be making fetch happen because we didn't like who she was married to for medicine. So she was never going to get a leg up in the fandom because she was attached to an anchor named G, And Yeah, so I'm glad to see this IVF journey. I'm glad that Dr. Jackie is in on it. You know, she's one of the only black people in the world with a black surrogacy center. Hello, shout out. So that's awesome. What else is happening? Contessa. Contessa. She's a sniper. She's one of those side snipers. She be doing too much, I feel like, you guys. Fine, what do they have? A stethoscope? Fine, you got your stethoscope. Dr. Heavenly, semi-demoted, but only because she's running for political office. Bitch, don't get confused. It's not because you back. You didn't earn nothing. It was given. Because you coming back with the same storyline too. Complain about Scott. Scott's not good. Scott bad. Scott very bad. Scott so bad, me no want Scott. Me no want Scott, he bad bad. Scott bad, very bad. Everybody listen to me, Scott bad. Me no like Scott. So what'd you say, girl? You don't like Scott? Who the fuck told you that? You need to stay out of my relationship. I don't know who told you you could talk about my family and my relationship. Who told you you could talk about Scott? Why is Scott da, 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 da? She's crazy, you guys. She's crazy. Dr. Heavenly last season told us good. Told us. You keep bringing this shit up in front of an 8th housewife. And then when they say or repeat back what you just said, it's a problem? You and Toya, no wonder you and Toya and Anila are friends. We'll see how long that'll last. I was never trying to invest in Lipton and her ongoing nonsense. Me neither. I don't even like Lipton. I used to love Lipton when I was a little girl, but then when I got older, they started taking the bags open on TikTok and stuff and showing me moving shit inside the Lipton tea bag. And I'm like, don't like that anymore. It's rotten. They are still together because I saw them on Toya House for her husband's birthday. Yep, still together. They're still together. They're still over there. Contessa is ridiculous. I was trying to invest in her before she tried to make Heavenly look crazy, right? Before she tried to make Heavenly look crazy. And she don't even understand that it only makes her look crazy. Because us real ones, we know. Now, there are some fakey McFuckersons that'll buy it for $1. And who are all like, oh my God, Toya ate. Toya ate. I would never vote for Dr. Heavenly either. They think she ate. They think Contessa is eaten. Contessa needs to wear a shirt that buttons all the way up. That's what Contessa needs to focus on. She needs to stop wearing these keyhole shirts and cover up before she gets a chest cold. That's what the fuck Contessa needs to do. I'm just saying. I'm not a doctor, but that would be the first prescription I write her. The second one would be shut the fuck up about Scott if you don't want anybody thinking nothing but good things about Scott. Because the only reason we think something other than, oh, Scott's kind of cute, is because you sit there and tell us all this bad shit that Scott does. Oh, and then blame it on Dr. Heavenly. And then Brandy's sitting over there laughing. But Toya was like, I want Dr. Heavenly and Mimi to go, and I'll talk to the other one later. Why? Why the preferential treatment? Why the preferential treatment? And then how dare you sit there and cry? I hate one of those drunks that get so drunk that they'll start crying. I hate a crying drunk. That is such a buzzkill. Don't drink if you're going to end up crying me a river. Nobody wants to be around your ass. I like a nice buzzy drunk. We're on a dance floor. There's no vomit involved. We laugh. We get home, have a little bit of a spin, go to bed. Don't wake up with a headache. That's what I'm about, okay? But no. They be taking it too far. Contessa is something different because she was talking about her husband. Then when you question her about it, she act all different. Exactly, hot. Contessa has too many masks. Like, who is she really? To me, they don't have to post everything yet because it proves they're together. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, who are you really, Contessa? I don't think she even knows. She dresses like she's at Costume City. Life is like a costume party. She don't even know. She always looks like she has on a costume. She doesn't even look like she's dressing for real life. You're right. Who is she? What are you doing, lady? What are you doing? And then I keep telling you guys, I told you guys the first year we met Contessa that Scott does not like her. You can tell Scott doesn't like her. Like if I ask my husband, does this look okay before we leave the house? And it doesn't, then he'll tell me. He'll be like, oh yeah, well maybe you might want this, maybe you might want that, or I would, you know, you look good, baby, but. She asks Scott how she looks, and he says fine every time and lets her leave the house looking like that, you guys. That's how I know Scott don't like her. They'd be the only ones at the party, and his wife is the only one in a costume. She's in such a fucking costume every time I see her. She may as well be Bronwyn from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, picking Todd up from the motherfucking airport in an inflatable dinosaur. Okay? Costume every time. Give Bronwyn a run for your money on these costumes, girl. You know she swears by a good costume and go pick old Todd up from the airport, but now they're getting a divorce, so he not gonna get picked up with no airport things now. Contessa is so skinny and no meat. Yeah. And then, okay, so we're not body shaming. We're not talking about them, but, oops, I said but we are noticing. Like, Contessa did seem like a little thicker, fluffier before, and then she got into bodybuilding, and she went through her mastectomy, and got into bodybuilding, and she's on a very strict diet. Like, she eats, like, boiled chicken and asparagus with no seasoning, like all the time. She's very zero fat. And she likes to live that way. She wants to be as healthy as possible. I mean, her and Dr. Jackie are practically, her and Dr. Jackie are practically the same as far as that. But Dr. Jackie, I don't know, maybe because she's so little, we don't notice, but we do notice sometimes how skinny Dr. Jackie is, honestly. We be noticing. Those ribs. We notice ribs on chests. We do. But that's what she wants. That's how she wants to be healthy. And we're not knocking that. We're just saying that we notice ribs on chests. That's all we're saying. And when you can't, like Dr. Mimi said, you can't be mad at how I react. You literally just showed me your ribs on your chest. You can't be mad that I saw the ribs on the chest that you presented to me. I can't be mad that I presented this fat ass I got and you saw a fat ass. I can't be mad at that. I can't stop it. I can't stop you from seeing this fat ass that I have. Right? Just like Contessa can't stop us from seeing skinny no meat. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just what it is. Okay? But, let's see. Now, I'm not sure why Brandy's husband, I didn't see him in the background. I don't know what he does or doesn't do that he isn't around these, like he wasn't at the birthday party, and he wasn't at, was he at the other birthday party, the Pimps and Hoes birthday party? Was he at that one? For Contessa's birthday? And then he paid for her birthday. And then I don't feel like he was at the pool party either. Well, she was sitting over there by herself. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I can't even remember what old boy looks like. What else? But I'm just going to keep saying that I did not appreciate these ladies coddling the drunken buffoonery that was the day drinker Toya Patron Harris. I dropped the bush for Patron. Okay, I'll add it back. Here we go. For the day drinker, Toya Biscuit Patron Bush Harris. Yes. Or should we say Toya Patron Biscuit Bush Harris? Yeah, I like that. Biscuit Bush Harris. Toya Patron Biscuit Bush Harris showed her entire ass, emasculated her husband, cussed him out in front of company, blamed Dr. Heavenly, and then sat at a table and cried, you guys. I'm like, are we watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Where did these white lady tears come from for no damn apparent reason? Are you mixed, Toya, and I never knew? I mean, I don't think we've ever seen Toya's mom, but I doubt she a white lady. She sure did come out with some Karen-esque nonsense about how the black lady was minding her own fucking business, but it was still her fault, and she feared for her life. Sit there crying. I'm just so tired. I'm just so tired. Really? And they all sat there and were like, oh yeah. And then she did her big one, you guys. Dr. Heavenly's come after everybody here. And they did a montage back reel to things long past, long forgotten, and long forgiven. Okay? And let Toya sit up there and cry tequila tears over some BS in Dr. Heavenly while putting her out. Crazy. That's crazy to me. So I don't know if Bravo is trying to help Dr. Heavenly lose or win to give Toya Bush Biscuit Harris a platform to reframe and re-narrate long past topics with Dr. Heavenly, like it's current fodder. Oh, she's going to come after you, Brandy, next. And she's going to come after you, Angel. Really? Really? They all have to fear Dr. Heavenly? Is that what you're fucking trying to, they have to be afraid of Dr. Heavenly? What the fuck are you talking about, Toya? But that's what happens when you're a day drinker. You get a little paranoid. Yep. The people in the attic. Start hearing people in your attic. You day drink too long. But for production to allow this, and Dr. Simone too, her marriage is falling apart. Her kids are doing everything. But every episode so far, she's also brought up digs on Dr. Heavenly. Very negative digs. Very negative digs. And then even after Dr. Heavenly went and had a tender moment with that bitch, Dr. Pancake Simone, the flip-flopper. And this is a perfect example. She has a moment with Dr. Heavenly where she's like, oh yeah, they just don't regard me, da da da. And then Dr. Heavenly was like, yeah, I haven't seen my son in about a year, da da da. Or however long it had been at that point. And Simone went right to confessional like, yeah, Dr. Heavenly act like everything's together and it's not together and da 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 da. Like there was no compassion or anything for the actual words coming out of Heavenly's mouth. It was all still just a reframe that was something that like, so they've been wanting all of Dr. Heavenly, but now you have it and now there's a problem with that too, bitch, really? Dr. Heavenly's the realest one, and now no wonder she doesn't share her shit with you because none of you give a fuck. You don't care about each other except for to try to blame each other and use each other for a storyline. So why would she have ever shared with you guys or used her family for a storyline? Why would she have ever done that with you bitches specifically? When the real villains on the show use her for the villainy. Simone is a hater gator. Oh my God. Hater gator galore. And I don't know, sometimes the way she be looking at them eye candy men, I'm like, I don't know if she stepped out on Cecil before or not. I don't know, but she looked like she could. I'm just saying, the way she was gazing upon those men's in their bikinis and the peens a couple seasons back, Simone has long seemed to have a wandering eye. I don't know. I don't know what they do at their house. But Simone does not mind having extended gazes on other men's parts and while her husband's right nearby. She don't mind it. Cecil could have walked in at any minute while her eyes were glued to old boy and she was sipping her drink with the straw and the pinky up. He could have walked in at any minute and seen that. As a matter of fact, he did see it if he just rewatched the show. If he just rewatched the show, Simone is the only wife who has a pattern of not minding the penises out. She doesn't mind a six-pack. She doesn't mind the penises out. And she will have a nice long gaze, an enjoyable gaze. There's no awkwardness about it. She's a physician. Let her warm her stethoscope. She will gaze upon you admiringly. That was an admiringly gaze. That was not physician-y. Okay? Simone needs to stop talking about Quad's house and Quad. Oh my God, right? She's just mad because at least if she had a house like Simone's, she could literally be in the West Wing with it. But the house that she got with these boys disrespecting her and her husband disrespecting her is too small for her to get away from her own thoughts. That's why she hating. And that's another thing. Toya and her have been plotting on Quad since they stopped plotting on Mariah. And the only reason they stopped is because Mariah got fired. You going to do all that, Dad? Mm-hmm. You want to take one of these phones or you got your phone? I got my phone. Okay, you got a charger? You want a charger?
I got a charger in there.
Okay, kiss me.
My phone's charged.
I love you a lot. Be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Where was I? I get so distracted by him. Oh my God. That man, he does things to me. Ever since I met him, I think him and I get butterflies. I'm talking about my husband now. I think him and I get butterflies and my nose sweats and I get flustered. Like my whole trains of thought just left. I was kind of on a semi-roll. And I just got all those kisses, and now I can't even remember where I was. I'm sorry. But I'll try to get back there. Let me see. Oh, I was carefully saying there was an issue with Simone and alcohol. Was it Simone or Toya? Because I feel like the issue with Toya and Patron is she's a mean drunk. A mean, crying-ass drunk. Nobody likes those. And she retells the story because she doesn't really remember what happened, you guys. So in her drunk mind, which obviously she about to blame that whole episode on the alcohol, you guys. We already know. Blame it on the alcohol, okay? He has a biscuit on his head because that's where Toya throws him. That's his wife in the orange with the Patron on either side of him. And her love language is chucking biscuits at him. And his love language is receiving biscuits. Yeah. And there's usually some Patron involved. So Simone and Toya hated on Mariah, got everybody to hyper-focus on Mariah off the show. Then in between there, they had tried to get Quad off, but then it didn't happen. So then they got Quad to hyper-focus on Mariah also. And then that's how Mariah got off the show. Then they got right back to hyper-focusing on Quad and actually got Quad kicked off the island for her to come back to the island, for them to act like she needed to grovel for the island. They got sand confused with grovel and gravel. It was a weird thing. And they decided that saying, I'm sorry, is her fault because they hear, they don't hear nothing when she would say, I'm sorry, apologize for nothing. Why did they, and who were they? Think about it. Where's Mademoiselle? Mademoiselle, why is it that Simone and Toya are always the ones to dictate the level of apology on the meter of apology, like whether or not that was a good enough apology, sincere enough apology, contrite enough apology, loud enough apology, like they're the meter for the show. And I feel like that's because they're production plants who have no problem doing whatever production tells them to do. since season 1, from the time when they brought up the paternity of their boss's child. Seriously. And neither one of them have ever had to take accountability. Neither one of them, they can do something and like, okay, think about it. Simone and Toya were the ones who initially brought up the thing about Quad allegedly sleeping with married men. But even in the playback, the eighth housewife showed Dr. Heavenly repeating what Quad and freaking Dr. Simone were the ones running around telling Anila that shit. They were the ones running around talking about she slept with a construction worker to get the tile put in her house. That's some good pee. That Ussy is good. If it got marble throughout, Italian fine marble for no deposit, no money down, and my floors are heated, that was a good exchange. But it didn't happen, you guys. But those two bitches got to run around and say it happened and then look at Dr. Heavenly. And when Dr. Heavenly repeated what they said, they made it Dr. Heavenly said it. You guys, it's crazy. No accountability, but get to point out all the fingers like Giselle and, oh my God, completely like Giselle and Ashley. Completely. Okay? I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. Toya is practically Ashley this season. Toya is acting like Ashley. No storyline, just talking about everybody else when we could be talking about why is your husband grabbing asses? Simone is like Giselle. She got a man in her life but don't want to talk about him to him. Yeah, but they both have Dr. Heavenly going on. I don't know, but I have to say a video where you analyze why these ladies get away with everything. They must be secret producers. That's what I was wondering, Mademoiselle. I'm like, how do they get away with so much? Except for that, they are doing some kind of bidding on behalf of production. And my theory is that because the show is the best show on Bravo, is about such Black excellence, I mean, we're literally looking at a show full of Huxtables with no sleepy drinks, okay? There's no sleepy drinks over here. But these are Black professionals. This is the Huxtable. This is the Cosby Show in real life for Black consumption as real life. So, of course, you're going to have some get your hand out of my wallet niggas to balance out and do the bidding of a white supremacist production so that you can somehow weave in the harmful stereotypes of Blackness even amongst this Black excellence. That's my theory. That's my theory. Sorry, I'm back. I was busy cooking Sunday dinner. Ooh, nice. What'd you get? You were listening on the big TV. Ooh, I feel special, Allie. I hope I didn't get too loud anytime. But yeah, that's my theory. And because Bravo loves to narrate a harmful stereotype about Blackness. They love it. They love it. As soon as Nene didn't want to be a buffoon, not that she was ever one to me, but she even said she was tired of being that on the show. She wanted to be this. And they were trying to like pigeonhole her basically. And they were like, no, you're that. And she was like, well, no, actually you can let the villain Kenya go ahead and be the whole villain now. I'm good. I'm in my healing phase. And they wouldn't let her, remember? So they love to narrate a harmful stereotype about, and when I say harmful, it's because we're not all loud all the time. It's no monolith involved. But when it's just like the caricatures of Blackness are unable to transcend the excellence that we're seeing of Blackness, that's where I'm starting to have a problem with my favorite show on Bravo. And I would need specifically, I'm seeing the purveyors of this propaganda against the excellence. I'm seeing the purveyors of this, the people who are basically against Dr. Heavenly at this point, and who have been against other people. But specifically this season is very overt with their triangulation attempt on Dr. Heavenly as specifically a person running for public office. So I feel like they're trying to harm her reputation of blackness on this scale while allowing her to use this platform on this scale. So they're trying to temper it, if you will, but they can't temper it. So they want Toya to temper it. They want Simone to temper it. And they'll temper it by constantly bringing up long dead, forgotten, forgiven horses. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure there's going to be a lot more things in the season coming that I'll have to add to my pattern power here. But so far it's looking like the preview, okay? Eugene is even in on it. Eugene with the biscuits on his head knows for a fact that his wife throws biscuits at him on TV, knows for a fact that his wife emasculates him on TV, knows for a fact how crazy she talks to him on a regular basis, and knows for a fact that she's talked about his manhood several seasons. Not just one time, you guys. There have been several seasons where she's talked about his fucking manhood. Okay? And it wasn't all complimentary. Okay? But somehow, he never checked Toya for saying that we saw. He never said, babe, you know, you shouldn't really say that about me on TV. We never saw that, did we, Biscuit Boy? We never saw that shit, did we, Biscuit Boy? No. But Biscuit Boy is going to fix his mouth in the episode tonight. Tonight? Tonight? When Married to Medicine comes on Bravo tonight? Biscuit Boy is going to fix his mouth to turn to Dr. Damon and say, oh yeah, well, Toya just has a problem with some of the wives, you know, when they start talking about my manhood. But you don't have a problem with your wife making the problem for your manhood to be talked about. So don't look at Dr. Damon, aka Dr. Daddy, like his wife's the problem for what your wife set up. That was an alley-oop, bitch. That was practically the fundamentals of basketball in action. Your wife did the layup and Dr. Heavenly for the points. Duh. She dunked it right on in, but your wife did the layup. You need to talk to your wife about her fundamentals. That's what the mark you're missing. But because you too are a plant for production, sir. Because you too are a plant for production, Biscuit Boy. You're about to sit up on this TV tonight and turn to the best husband on the show. Because he's not playing with you guys. He's not playing about his kids or his family or his missus. None of this is for entertainment purposes. You guys can be like, oh, people go through problems or for real life all you want. But Dr. Heavenly's not doing it for our entertainment. You guys are sitting up here playing with your marriages for our entertainment. And you don't have to for my entertainment. I would have been thoroughly entertained if you bitches would have just kept having lunch. Okay? But you wanted to make it some other stuff. So Biscuit Boy is going to sit on the TV tonight and try to add to Dr. Heavenly being the problem during her season of her running for the Congresswoman of District 13 in Georgia. Now, the reason this is an issue is because Biscuit Boy is usually on quiet, you guys. Biscuit Boy doesn't say a lot. He doesn't say a lot. As a matter of fact, it's been a decade of his wife chucking biscuits at him and talking about how his dick doesn't get any bigger. Okay? A decade. Well-documented decade of small peens and biscuits for everybody. Like we're in Oprah's holiday show. A biscuit for you and a biscuit for you, bitch. And you're going to fix your mouth on the best show on Bravo to make Dr. Heavenly your problem? Really, bitch? And he tried it last season too, when he was helping his wife out last season. And they really thought they had Dr. Heavenly on the ropes last season, bringing in Sweet Tea, and then trying to act like she really called that boy a pedophile. And like that was really an issue more than woman beating. Using a hashtag is worse than beating a woman. Last season was where they were trying to take it. Also, they could try to besmirch Dr. Heavenly. And again, last season, take the focus off the woman beater so that you can focus on Dr. Heavenly. Really? When there's women beaters to focus on? It's crazy. It's crazy. But when the men get in on it, like last season, they were like, they all went and met and talked about Dr. Heavenly. And remember, Dr. Damon wasn't with them. They were doing like some kind of ATV or something. And they were having like a little, and Scott was back in the picture. And he was with Eugene having his back. Remember? Making Dr. Heavenly the problem again. Bitchy motherfuckers. No wonder you get moist with biscuits on your head, Eugene. Biscuit boy. That's some Mitch behavior, biscuit boy. Dr. Heavenly's what kept your job, kept your wife's job all this time. She been carrying the show for the decade she's been on, bitch. Your wife has no storyline except for emasculating you and complaining about you and Dr. Heavenly. So without Dr. Heavenly, you would have got it way worse in the last decade, biscuit boy. So, but when you fix your mouth to go in on Dr. Heavenly tonight, I can't wait to see what Damon says or doesn't say. Damon is a nonverbal communicator. I love it. He don't have to say much, but when he does say something, you know, and when he doesn't say something, you know. But you're going to sit up here in my face and make my wife the problem when we just saw your wife's ass cheeks while she showed her ass last week and said you wasn't even a leader in your household, but my wife's the problem? She has a problem with some of the ladies. I hope to God that Dr. Damon turns to him and be like, well, maybe if Toya wouldn't have said it, then my wife wouldn't have said it. Yeah. She was just repeating what your wife said. I would reiterate that, but we're not going to get that from Dr. Damon. He's not petty. Let's see. The comments are, Simone can't talk about accountability because, to me, when Simone talked about quad family business, okay, I'm so glad you brought that up. Hot pink. Hot pink, stay with me here. Walk with me. Walk with me. When Simone brought that shit up at the reunion, and then the season following that was last season, and Quad was so hurt. And they finally, Quad forgave and let go. But those bitches, none of them had like made contact with her during that time, which was even Simone's problem. Simone was like, I called and you didn't answer. So for what? So you can say that you called and you consoled me? Like, because why are you even mentioning this now in the argument about my trauma and the traumatic thing that happened at my house? And everybody on that side of the couch glossed over it. Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie were very contrite with Quad and like oh so compassionate with her, very kind around that whole scenario. Those bitches gave more thought to Toya's fucking dog wake than they did to Quad when a whole human baby girl had a tragedy at her house. That pissed me off. That scene where they did that dog shower and put so much attention into that dog dying after treating Quad like that when a human died, I was like, oh. I did not like that. I did not like that, Sam. I am. But that's these bitches. These bitches, I'm telling you. She didn't see nothing wrong with having that for a scene after treating a human lady like that. That's disgusting. And then even at that, she was mad at Dr. Heavenly for showing up to her wake. Really, bitch? Well, just stop inviting her places. You're not that in charge that Dr. Heavenly can't come because they won't even bring the cameras in the room. You guys need Dr. Heavenly. But Dr. Simone, Toya are the two meanest of the mean. They're triangulating. They've enrolled Dr. Contessa. They're getting Brandy on board because Brandy is Toya's friend for now. She might sharpen a knife for that bitch's back sooner or later, the way she did to Anila, the way she did to Quad. Okay? Mimi, luckily, is not under her thumb and will remain her independent thinking self. I appreciate her. And like I said, also tonight, it looks like Angel is going to decide that of all the people in the group to start with, she going to pick Dr. Heavenly. And to which I say, bitch, go put some clothes on and stay away from King. Okay? Because you got bigger fish to fry than coming over here to the doctor. And you're a nurse. You're a nurse. Learn your position. Don't come over here talking to doctors like that. Isn't she like a nurse practitioner or something? Not that there's, I'm just giving her a hard time the way they gave Dr. Heavenly a hard time. It's very complimentary to the cast. She is in the medical field and kudos to her. However, I do believe that she's a nurse and Dr. Heavenly is a whole doctor and she's going to be like, oh, I don't know. I don't think you understand when you offend people. Well, who the fuck are you? And who asked you? I don't know that you know when to shut the fuck up, Angel. How about that? Anyway, that's my rant and I'm sticking to it, you guys. Get at the rest of these comments. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Quad should go hang out with Tammy and talk about Simone and post it. Ooh, I would love a weekend jaunt to Tammy's. I would love it. It was cruel. Maybe Tyler Perry pays Toya some on the side, right? Because she'd be staying stirring the mess. Keeping dead horses alive on her dead horse ranch. At this point, the only reason that Dr. Eugenis and Toya are together is for the Bravo check. Yeah, and because they don't have a prenup. No prenup. I believe Dr. Eugene loves his wife, but he is beginning to get tired of her behavior. I'm pretty sure. Toya is lucky that her husband is a nice guy because she does talk to him crazy. She does. Very crazy. Hey, Hardy. Yeah. So it's been, yeah, hi. Yeah, so it's been a good season so far, 4 episodes in. And like we mentioned earlier, Dr. Heavenly is supposedly a friend of, but she made it to three episodes so far. Hopefully she's getting her right check for the episodes that she's in. She could never talk about Quad money with Sweet Tea. And to me, what Quad said about Simone was not a big deal. It wasn't. It wasn't. You are a traitor. She is the best traitor because she's the biggest flip-flopper on set. That's why we call her Dr. Pancakes, you guys. Over here, we've been calling Dr. Simone Dr. Pancakes for at least thrice years. That's 3 years, bitches. For at least thrice years, we've been calling her Dr. Pancakes because she is the biggest flip-flopper. She'll smile in your face and then go right to the confessional and be like, yeah, Dr. Heavenly be pretending like she got it all together and she don't. Like that wasn't what the point of the conversation was. It was so weird. Anyway, but yeah, it was not a big deal. She is a traitor. You have to be a flip-flopper, duplicitous bitch to be a traitor. And that's what Dr. Simone has revealed herself to be to and through the treatment of her bestie, Dr. Jackie. How are you mad at Dr. Jackie for having a new friend? when you're not in the 7th grade. She was really giving her an option for another check to be on Trader. She really was. Dry pancakes, no syrup. None, zilch. No syrup, right? Okay, you guys, that's 2 hours of our Sunday that we spent together talking about Married to Medicine. It does come on tonight. Their voting is for Dr. Heavenly in District 13 next year. I'm not sure when. You guys need to go to our website and see. If you can, donate over there. We love Dr. Heavenly over here. We love Married to Medicine. It's still the best show on Bravo, even with the no storyline having day drinking Biscuit Bush Harris and her biscuit boy husband, along with Dr. Pancakes and her day drinker. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's all the way next November? Wow, she has a long lead up. Nice. Simone needs to stop jumping in people's faces, right? Simone, I mean, and then they also fakely assign the loudest and the wrongest to Dr. Heavenly too. Because Dr. Heavenly doesn't act at all as ghetto as the pancake flipper. Not at all. Dr. Simone has been the most ghettoest, wrongest, streetest, thuggiest of all of them for eons. But they will also pretend like Dr. Heavenly is that. But she's not. Is Dr. Simone. Yeah. 2026 is the midterm for voting. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, well, hey, we got to get it. We got to get it. I hear there's lots of seats up. Maybe some things can get done. If you're registered to vote, get registered if you're not. And do your guys' thing. Happy Sunday. Thanks for coming through. No worries, mademoiselle. I missed you guys too. I was like very up Love Island's butt. That 6-month anniversary was just on Friday. I'm touching grass, coming back over here. We're going to be doing Married to Medicine weekly at least, along with some Van Carthen. If you guys have been seeing my thing, Van Carthen's do a lot of Van Carthen stuff too. So yes, we will definitely. Thanks for posting that, Allie from Miami. Not sure if Heavenly has a primary challenger, but if she does, you will need to vote in the primary. Yeah, she does. I think, isn't there an incumbent? That's what it's called. If there's somebody who's already in the seat who's also running, I believe that's called an incumbent. So there is a long-term incumbent for District 13 that she feels like she can do a better job than him. And I think she can. Dr. Heavenly is not professional enough to hold office. And you're not professional enough to even have that opinion. How about that? I don't know why you have confidence in your name if you're not confident that Dr. Heavenly can hold office. How about that? How about that? Because you came to the wrong chat, boo. You're in the wrong territory with that kind of talk. Okay? Wrong road, bitch. Because she's very qualified. Yeah, no, your opinion is a First Amendment right at your house, but you're about to get blocked from over here, bitch. That's how I do it. If I don't want to hear it, I don't want to partake. You don't get to come over here with your hate mongering ways, dummy. Yeah, don't tread on you. Yeah, how about you tread on this finger right here? How about you tread on this finger right here? Blocked. Blocked. Yeah, you can get blocked, bitch. Professional based on what I see on TV? Yeah. Yeah. Professional based off what I see on TV, Symmetry. Yeah. Yep. She's had her business for a very long time and it's thriving. And she's changing the world. Stop mixing up television with real careers. Okay. Yeah. You need to stop mixing up television with real careers because she's about to be the next congressperson for District 13. Yeah. Which Toya could never, would never. Toya could never and would never. Oh, thanks, Symmetry. I was like, I thought Symmetry was a friendly, but I was literally thinking, oh, my mistake. Television is television for entertainment. Yeah, you're right. It's all for entertainment. It's all for entertainment. But what's real is she's running for Congress. That's what's real. So I don't understand what the problem would be for when somebody's trying to do good in their community. And she's exactly, like, I think she's exactly what they need. These are the people that she's running against are literally saying anything. Literally, we need a person in all the congressional seats that will say anything and it be the truth instead of some lies and alternative facts. She'll point out all the slips that are showing in the room. Yes, there are very many seats up for grabs, like 453 seats or something like that. I'm very proud of her. I love that she puts her money with where her mouth is. But I've always seen the side of her too. Like, I know she does what she does on TV and she allows them to put her in the villain role and stuff. But she's always also given back. Always has given back. And she doesn't brag about it, but if you're paying attention, then you would know her track record with giving back in her community, and giving back to her people specifically, her Black community. We do need her voice. I agree. I would vote for Dr. Heavenly in a minute. I wish she was in California. Woo-wee! I wish she was out here. Yep. Because you can't even get along with friends. And then for Toya's whole thing to be like, you can't even get along with your friends. The current president grabs pussies on strangers. And you're not even her friend, Toya. I don't even know that she would consider you a friend as before a colleague. What do you mean she can't even, these relationships? You don't even consider, you just told your husband, fuck these bitches, is what you think of these people that you've been working with for a decade. But every time you get a mic in your mouth and the question on your lips about Dr. Heavenly running for office, you say, well, she can't even maintain her friendships. You're not her friend. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't even know, Toya. Right? Her TV friends, right? Exactly. A 13-year-old girl's, yep. Her TV friends, right? Exactly. Okay, I gotta stop. I'm getting ready to go off. I was just thanking you guys for coming through for 2 hours. Thanks for smashing that like button, smash the subscribe button. I hope your holidays are most happy and benevolent, okay? And that you're on the most benevolent timeline available and possible to you. Remember, you can have, do, be anything. No matter how big or small, just don't hurt, harm, or hinder the next person or yourself, hopefully, and get to it. It's your year. It's all about you. You deserve it. You can have it. You deserve it. You can have it. You deserve it. You can have it. Okay? Ring my bell. I'll see you in the next video. Peace, you guys.